All right. Another recap of the meeting that we just finished with the Academy of Creatives. Let me walk you through it really quickly. We talked about the mindset, right? Today is a mindset week. So we talked about the mindset of blaming, complaining, and justifying. Some of these traps that we get stuck into that a lot of the times we don't even recognize, but they hold us back. They give us the reasons and the excuses that hold us back, when if we understand this and we have more self-awareness, I'll walk you through the exercise that we did today. If we have the awareness and we have this idea, then we can move past it much faster, right? I'll give you an example. So about 2 years ago, I moved to Cambodia and we lived like in the middle of the countryside. There weren't even paved roads. It was all dirt. It was right next to a national park in this small village. And as I like to do in the morning, when we first moved there, I went for a run, right? And on that first run, I got chased by street dogs, and I was super scared, almost got bitten. And I was like, well, that's it, I can't run. Like, while we live here in this place, I can't run because there's street dogs and, stray dogs. And I don't know if they're going to chase me. Are they going to bite me? Are they going to hurt me? And obviously I don't want to provoke dogs by running. So I was like, well, I just can't run. And then during the next week or so, I just never went for a run because I felt like I couldn't, right? And it was this justification that I just can't go for a run because there's dogs out there, right? Now, about a week and a half later, I was like, you know what? I really want to go for my run. I'm really missing it. Let me just like go the other way, right? There's the two-way road. One way went that way. That's when I went the first day and I got chased by street dogs. And I went the other way the next day, and guess what? There were no dogs. 0 dogs. But for about 2 weeks, a week and a half or whatever it was, this excuse, this justification held me back from doing something I love, from doing something that helps me have a better life and be more productive and do better, enjoy my life more. But it was just in my head. Now, could I have done something else as well? Yeah, we had a motorbike. I could have just hopped on the motorbike and drive somewhere outside of the area as well, where there's no dogs as well. Didn't even need to do that. I literally just ran the other way. How simple is that, right? So sometimes we get stuck with complaining, blaming, justifying. If all we need to really do is just go the other way, and it all works out, right? So here's the thing. If you blame, the power goes to other people or the other circumstance. If you blame something or somebody else. If you complain, the power goes to the problem. And if you justify, the power goes to the excuse. So you're giving your personal power away. Your personal power to have the ability to act, to do things, to take action and to create results. You're giving it away to others, the problem or the excuse. Right? And so here's the important quote. Where focus goes, energy flows. Whatever you focus on, that's where your energy will go. And where your energy goes, that's the results that you create, right? So we went through this quick self-awareness exercise that helps us identify where we might be blaming unconsciously, where we might be complaining unconsciously, where we might be justifying unconsciously the things that hold us back. And a clear example is like in our field is like blaming the algorithm, right? But anyways, the exercise is you create 3 columns in your journal or a piece of paper. If you don't have a journal, get a journal. And you write a column of blame, write a column of complain, and write a column of justify, and you write down 2 examples of each from your past life in the last about 2 weeks, right? Try to make it as recent as possible. Look back and see where it got to you. And if you can't come up with that, just write down any that you know you used to do or you do every now and then, that you know are your regulars, even in the past 2-3 years, right? And so that will help you peel the layers of the self-awareness back, and that way you can get your power back, right? So now, what's the solution to all these and how do we get out of it? The core is taking responsibility for your part of the equation, right? So let's say if you're unconsciously blaming the algorithm, and then you're justifying, well, the algorithm doesn't like me anymore, so why would I make effort and post videos anyways, right? So a blame turns into a justification, and now you're not making videos, now you're not making any progress. right? So you got to take responsibility for your part. Obviously, the algorithm plays a role, but at the same time, the quality of your videos plays a role. The time you post it, how much effort you put in there, how much you post, all these kind of things play a role, right? So take responsibility for your part, not to blame yourself and not to take responsibility for something you can't control, but take responsibility for your part. It might be a small part, but that's where you start. But the core solution here, I didn't write it down. We have a core solution and tools, because I wanted you to wait for the solution. The tools I wrote down here, but the solution is to change your state. Change your state. Especially in the moment, if you catch yourself complaining, justifying, blaming, that's a negative state that keeps you stuck. And the solution in that case is really difficult to just stop it, right? Like, hey, just stop complaining. But if your brain is in the momentum of complaining, it's really difficult. If you're in the pattern of blaming, it's just not gonna work if somebody's just tell you, hey, just stop blaming and do your fucking thing, right? It's not gonna work. So the solution here is to change your state. Now, then we talked about some tools of what kind of tools do we have to change our state. And Anarif mentioned meditation. I mentioned running, because running always helps me change my state. If I get stuck in complaining or blaming or justifying anything, I just go for a run. I process it that way, and in the middle of the run, I start taking responsibility and I start focusing on the solutions of what I can do instead of the circumstance, right? Another member said, I reach out to a friend that I've asked specifically, hey, if I have a hard time, can you coach me out of these things? Can I call you up if this happens? And another member said, I ask myself this question, what can I do? Right? Again, shifting the focus from the problem to the solution, from what you cannot control to what you can control. And it is very, very powerful. So I hope you apply this. I hope you use this. I hope you do this exercise. And I hope you pay attention to your state. And if you get caught in a victim or negative state, physically, mentally, emotionally, you have some tools now. And then you remind yourself of your own tools of how you can change your state so that you don't get caught giving your power away, but you take your power and you use your power to generate results, to turn your passions into online income, just like the main reason why we are here, but also, of course, enjoy the journey along the way. If you didn't make it to the meeting today, make sure that you can put it in your calendar, make it the next time if you want to join us. You can find the link somewhere here to learn more about the Academy. Lovely to have you, and I'll see you in the next one.